You're listening to WKCV LP 103.5 FM, the voice of Keystone College. Hi everyone, today I have two very special guests, Michelle and Jordan, who are the creators and current members of Shadowmon, a local band to the Scranton area. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So first, how are you both doing?
Fantastic. You know, just got off of work. We're about to have practice for an open mic. Good.
Good. So earlier when we talked, you described Shadowmon to be a progressive or math rock band. So for our listeners who may not know much about the genre, can you tell me a little bit about what math rock is?
It's a lot of odd time signatures. So, like, you know, when you usually listen to most music, it's in a 4/4 meter, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's more of, you know, odd times, like, you know, 5/4 or 7/8, or, you know, whatever I feel like doing at the time.
Okay. So when and how did Shadowmon form?
2016, 2017, Jordan and I were walking in the woods, and Jordan just looked at me. He was like, "Let's start a band."
I love it. So how did you decide on the name Shadowmon? Where did it come from?
We actually did not have a name for like the first 4 years or so being a band. Every single time we went somewhere, we always changed our name, and it was kind of funny. But eventually, when Matt Grodinsky, our ex-bassist, was jamming with us, he got a dog from like Cuba or something, somewhere in the Caribbean, and the dog's name was Shademon. And it's just a mispronunciation of Matt's dog's name.
I love that. Okay.
I don't know how it came to be. It just somehow became a thing.
Yeah, we're terrible
but it's great. It's a good story to tell when people ask you about the name. So individually, what got each of you into music in the first place? How long have you been doing music? What are the first instruments you learned to play?
When I was 12, I used to listen to Weezer. I haven't listened to them in about 5 years at this point, but Weezer got me to pick up the guitar. I did a lot of music programs in my high school as well. I just enjoy music, and, you know, whenever I listen to music, I'd rather be playing an instrument than continue to listen to that music. I don't know.
For me, it was literally, I played Guitar Hero 3, and I was like, guitar's cool, I want to play guitar. Yeah, when after playing Guitar Hero, I was like, yeah, I want to pick up a guitar. And so with my first actual paycheck, I went out and bought one.
So what roles do you each hold in the band?
Guitarist, drummer.
Beautiful. So it is just the two of you right now. So for other instruments, I know you mentioned that you had an old bassist. So do you now share the role?
We are currently trying out someone to play bass for us, but I guess like 80% of the role for writing bass lines is Jordan, with like me trying sometimes, collaborating and giving input or something.
So I know you've done quite a few local shows. When did you start doing live shows? Was it right when you first formed? Because I know you mentioned when you started you didn't have a name. So how soon into creating the band did you actually start doing performances?
I feel like it was kind of early. Like we went out and we did like an open mic or something.
Yeah, just about like 3 to 6 months after starting to play, you know. Back then we were both playing guitar too. And yeah, I think as soon as we had a chance, we were out there playing. I mean, Michelle is always pushing to do something, literally anything, as long as someone will hear it.
Which is good, because you want to get it out there. So what do you think is the most memorable show you've ever done?
Well, if it's a good show, I don't remember it. But, memorable shows, I mean, we did a couple.
I guess the most recent one, we had like a small house show, and like not many people showed up, but it was an awesome time anyway. You know,
Woo!
we had like 2 other bands play before us.
Mm-hmm.
And like even though there was only like 6 people in the room, the vibes were immaculate. And I don't know, I left that night feeling like I was floating.
That's awesome, though. I was going to ask you about that because I saw some stuff on social media about the house show that was going to go on. So I was going to ask you how that went, but I guess I kind of answered the question. Who are some artists or bands that you would both say are some of your musical inspirations?
Like, I feel like I already know, but at the same time, like, I feel like I can't really just like pin it on like anyone specific, but at the same time, I already know who I'm going to say. Don Caballero! Nah, but honestly, I feel like this is gonna sound very like cliche and cheesy, but I honestly feel like Jordan inspires me a lot to like get better at my instrument.
And Jordan, what about you? Who would you say are some artists or bands that are inspirations to you?
Well, you know, I try to pull from a lot of different sources, and by a lot, I mean like I like Terra Mellos is one of my favorites personally. I also like pull from some like jazzy stuff like Thelonious Monk or Dave Brubeck, someone like that. Don Caballero too. I mean, some of the loop work that the guitarist does is immaculate, but everything I listen to, I feel like there's something that I can steal.
So I know you've had other members in the past. You mentioned Matt. Do you think that you will introduce new members to the band in the future? And if so, like I know you mentioned you're currently seeing someone who could possibly play bass. Have you ever considered adding any other instruments into the mix, or do you want to keep it more small, just a couple people?
At least a 3-piece.
At least.
It's difficult just working between the 2 of us. It can be difficult, like to jam things out sometimes. But I wouldn't want too many people because it's just difficult for scheduling and everything.
Right.
People usually work too well. But at least a 3 people would be good.
Lastly, I'm just going to give you a chance to shamelessly promote yourselves. Where can people find your music? Is there a website? Where can they go to listen?
You can find us in Jordan's basement, RIP Jamtown. You can find us on SoundCloud, Facebook, and Instagram at Shadowmon, and hopefully streaming services and physical media soon at Shadowmon.
We are currently working on a set of musics that we'll put on a disc.
Awesome. When you do have that together, please send it to me because I would love to listen. Thank you guys so much. And it was good talking to you.
Thanks, Miranda.
To hear more from Michelle and Jordan, be sure to check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Shadowmon, and go to their SoundCloud at Shadowmon.